it has come. Liverpool are the champions for their people, with their...
Breaking news to bring you. Liverpool has sacked Arne Slot. He leaves the club just a year after winning the Premier League title, but after a difficult season where they failed to mount any sort of defence of their crown, despite a major investment in the playing side. The club have just confirmed the news with a statement. This is
one season. That's all it took. One season to become a hero and one season to lose it all. How does that happen? How does a manager walk into one of the biggest clubs in the world, win the most prestigious trophy in all of England, and still end up getting shown the door the following season? How does a club so united, hungry, and unstoppable completely fall apart? A club with all the money in the world, all the players it could have ever wanted, end up with nothing to show for it. From falling out with the club's biggest star,
seems like a club is throwing me under the bus,
to becoming tactically clueless. This is the fall of Arne Slot.
The only communication has been there.
As a player, Arne Slot had a very crucial skill. He had great football intelligence. He saw every pass, run, opportunity. He knew exactly what to do and when to do it. A tactical genius on the field, but he had one major issue keeping him down. He couldn't run for shit. No speed, no stamina, yet all of the determination. Retiring at 34, that, gents, is what you call the perfect recipe for a manager. Arne Slot kicked off his managerial career in the same league as he played in.
You've never been outside Netherlands?
Oh. Stepping up to take the manager role of AZ Alkmaar after being the assistant manager for 2 years. In his first season in charge, Slot was on the verge of glory until...
Many sports events around the world are getting postponed or even cancelled as the COVID-19 virus spreads.
We start with the big news coming out of Holland today. Ajax level on points with AZ Alkmaar at the top of the table.
Listen, there's no winner. Whatever ways, people would have been happy and unhappy.
Leaving the season on a cliffhanger, he was eager for a change. Not having the patience to wait, he started talks with Feyenoord on a move. A conversation that would later cost Arne his position at AZ. Not making a difference, however, as sooner or later, he went ahead and finalised his contract with Feyenoord. His time at Feyenoord couldn't have gone any better. Slot guided the club to a Conference League final in his first season, a feat special to them as they are not a club known for European success. The following season, Slot outshined himself, winning the Dutch league, a milestone marking just the second time this century that they have won it. Uniting the whole city behind him and his team, Slot showed signs of greatness, marking his name nearly as an icon in Rotterdam.
Important message to deliver to our supporters.
I will leave the club at the end of the season.
With Klopp leaving, only one name came to mind for a possible replacement.
Xabi Alonso.
Xabi
Alonso has the best CV.
But unwilling to move due to his commitment with Leverkusen, Liverpool needed to find a suitable replacement elsewhere, and they needed one fast.
The big breaking news from Liverpool, Arne Slot has been confirmed as their new manager.
He may not have been my first choice, but he is the coach.
Before the announcement of Slot becoming the new manager was aired by the club was already singing chants for the expected, soon-to-be manager. Something unusual. It's not every day we see a manager welcoming his replacement with such active solidarity, helping Slot ease into the transition of becoming the manager of one of Europe's biggest powerhouses. A club that not so long ago was winning the Champions League, for crying out loud. The biggest, most prestigious trophy a club could ever win. But how does Slot's football compare to Klopp's? Would it even work at Liverpool? Well, Slot's tactics at Feyenoord played out very similar to that of Klopp's Liverpool. He most commonly used either the 4-2-3-1 formation or the 4-3-3, transitioning between the two depending if he needed a midfielder to drop back and support the defenders. His philosophy was a fast and dynamic attack that prioritized possession. If they lost the ball, Slot presented high-pressing gegenpress to win the ball back as soon as possible. It was electric, filled with energy, fast-forward attacks that ended in beautiful goals. Another trait Slot has, just like Klopp, is his ability at developing young talent. Orkun Kökçü, Lusawa Gertruda, Mats Weifer, Santiago Gimenez, and Quinton Timber. Those are just some of the names that Slot developed into hard-working, determined, talented footballers. His game, however, did have its own tricks that differ from Klopp's Liverpool. Instead of using wide fullbacks, Slot used semi-inverted fullbacks, had them not tuck in too much but still keep them away from playing wide. It allowed easy access to play the ball to the winger, while also keeping a high press at the centre of the midfield, supporting central attacks and pressing the midfield if the possession was lost. Slot liked to play his attacks through the middle, starting the attack by passing the ball off to his defensive midfielder, who would run into more forward positions and push everyone up. Something which Klopp avoided, usually wanting to isolate his wingers instead and play the ball much wider. This difference changes the way Slot and Klopp create their chances, with Klopp preferring to bring the ball up wide before cutting inside, while Slot prioritizes playing the ball through the middle. With the fullbacks inverted, it allows them to drive into a more offensive position, into the half spaces, and deliver a cross for the striker. Leaving tactics aside, Klopp was a lot more emotional when it came to his system, running at defenses relentlessly, no matter if the game just began or if it was the extra time of the Champions League knockout phase. Slot was more controlled with his approach, calculating his attacks to strike at the right time, not always pressing too heavily, only when the time is right. Liverpool's squad was getting old, with Van Dijk and Salah surpassing the best cardio days. Slot wanted to slow the tempo down to make it less demanding on his star players. Many fans disliked this approach, calling it out for making it lose Liverpool's identity. But such argument is hard to make when they won game after game after game. By March, the league was basically done. Liverpool were going to win the Premier League title, the very first season of Slot's Liverpool, and he already won the league. An extremely rare and impressive feat, especially as no one had him anywhere near winning the league. The way Liverpool attacked and utilised Salah, exploiting his ability of cutting into the middle, was simply amazing, winning him the Golden Boot with 29 goals and 18 assists, marking it the highest combination of goals and assists ever recorded by a player. McAllister was busy terrorising in the midfield, while the defensive line, led by Virgil, was impenetrable. Slot's system worked perfectly, but what happens when the squad changes? Liverpool spent £449 million on transfers in the 2025 summer transfer window. Nearly £500 million, clearly showing that the Liverpool board is putting all of their eggs into one basket. Liverpool have just won the Premier League, and they are about to open the checkbook like never before. Giovanni Leone, Jeremy Frimpong, Miłosz Kerkez, Hugo Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, and Alexander Isak, players that were supposed to reshape Liverpool and continue the champions' glory. The best in the world, breaking the transfer fee record for a player in the Premier League not once but twice, turned into a disaster with a total of 13 injuries between the new arrivals, with half getting season-ending injuries like tearing the ACL or
has broken his leg.
It is easy to say Liverpool have been very unlucky. Out of the possible 190 Premier League starts for the new arrivals, excluding Leone as he was signed as a future prospect, still only 89 game appearances between the lot. Even when they did play, every single one, with the only exception of Ekitike, underperformed massively, relying on Liverpool to depend on their core group of players who also struggled. McAllister wasn't playing like himself. Salah dropped off massively. The whole team seemed to have a lack of ambition. A Liverpool team that used to run, attack and press as if they were fighting for their lives turned into an effortless, boring disappointed display week after week.
I'm sitting
And
in
it
the
wasn't
bench
just the fans
for 90
who were
minutes.
tired.
I think it's my first time in my career, but it seems like a club is throwing me under the bus. I said that many times before. I had a good relationship with the manager, and out of the sudden, we don't have any relationship. I don't know why.
Arne Slot was fighting on all fronts, in the media and the locker room, trying to find something that would work, experimenting by playing Szoboszlai as a right back, playing a more narrow 4-2-2 formation. All the players, old and new, looked lost on the pitch, not understanding nor being able to adapt to the changes. Liverpool struggled as they closed their season, humbly finishing 5th. Following the closure of the Premier League season, Liverpool lost both Konate and Robertson on free transfers to Real Madrid and Spurs. This was the final straw before Liverpool's board ultimately said goodbye to Slot. Without a proper goodbye, Slot leaves a champion, but was still most likely remembered as the man who had it all, made the biggest transfers in history, and flopped just as he overcame the hardest pressure to prove himself as the manager of Liverpool. Now, a new era emerges from the ashes, still yet to prove himself at a big club. Just like Slot, Iraola takes charge of Liverpool as the head coach instead of manager, a role more focused on tactics and training the players, rather than having any other major influence in how the club is run. Transfers, contracts, and general club philosophy, a philosophy that since Klopp no other manager was trusted to run. So, will Iraola bring back the attacking Liverpool that we know, or will he fall for the same traps that Slot did and put Liverpool back in the shadow that it once was before? Thank you for watching, and let me know what video you want to see next.